Hi, Chipsters. Welcome back to Gameweek 6. This week we're going dark on eKasi League. No standings, no gossip, no heartbreaks. Think of it as a mystery episode. We'll spill all that tea in Gameweek 7. But if you're new here, hit that subscribe and check up on our previous game weeks to see all that chaos, the comebacks and the captain fails that you missed. For now, we're diving into Game Week 6, the week that we saw some top clubs that caught serious face wash. One standout player stole the spotlight, and a few others got rage transferred faster than you can say wildcard. Let's get straight into it. Iyo, Bangani, iyo. Game week 6 came swinging in, hey? Like some of us are still in recovery mode after those shocking results. The so-called big clubs, ne? Yeah, they caught some serious face wash this week. It was giving plot twist FC all round. From defenders turning into strikers to captains going missing in action. Yeah, no, this one tested our patience as managers. But let's break it down and see what chaos transpired in Game Week 6. Now, let's start with the Club of the Week. As you can see, while the average manager scored just 46 points this week, our top fantasy club absolutely demolished the baseline with 124 points. That's not a victory, that's like a statement, bro. So let's just break down the backbone of that score. If you look closely, you can see Alderete from Sutherland put in a monstrous 17 points and also takes the Player of the Week honors. Meanwhile, Gabriel of Arsenal added a 13 points, backing a solid defensive, which showed during that match where Arsenal played against Newcastle and won 2-1. As for Sensei from Bournemouth, he chipped in 7 points too, so that was like helping push this back line into like a roughly 37 points in total. And then also adding Contante 3, we're looking at like what, 14? Jeez, man. This Oak was fighting us. And then on the middle field and attack side, they still kept the punches coming. I mean, Doku from City with 10, Rice with 9 from Arsenal, Marino also from Arsenal with 6, and then to just have a real deal breaker, there's a Haaland with a triple captain that boosted like 48 points all on his own. I mean, just with Haaland alone, you already gone above the average 46 points for that week. I mean, fantasy football is part skill and part timing, part luck, or should we say majority luck, as Mulemo has mentioned, as well as we've seen who's this from Barcelona FC, Tabang also mentioned. So yeah, look, this club found the perfect recipe this week. I mean, I'm even tongue-tied. I don't know what to say. But yeah, I would be curious to hear your comments. So you can comment and tell me, what a whiplash was this? I feel defeated. Half of 124 isn't even half what I got for the week. Jeez. And just to put the final nail in the coffin for Game Week 6, let's take a look at the Team of the Week. These are players who made managers either jump for joy if you had most of them, or you want to throw your phone at the wall. And I'm the latter. So at the back with the goalkeeper, we've got Ruiz pulling a clean 10-pointer. Then we've got, literally, I'm just adding up here, 17, 13, 12, and another 12. I'm slow with maths, guys. So I see 24, I see 30. So we looking at 54. I could be wrong, guys, but already 54 plus 10 from the GK. Then we looking at 64. Wow, alone. I could dream of such problems. And then we've got Longstaff with 15, I guess he also becomes top 3 player of the week because we know Alderete is the first one. Then Haaland with 16, he makes him the second top player for game week 6. I mean, this is just embarrassing. So if you had even half of these guys, you are in congratulations. You probably even didn't cry into your chips. But yeah, enough of pain, guys. Let's move to how we can better strategize going forward. For this week, Chipsters, I've added a new insert. So welcome to the Fantasy Therapy Corner, where we don't judge, we just cry together. You know the struggle, like, when you're chasing last week's points, like they owe you money, and you're taking a negative 8 hit that backfires faster than an Arsenal counter-attack? Or when you're captaining that one player who suddenly decides to rest his hamstring that weekend? Let's be honest, every manager got a story. Like myself, hi, my name is Anon and I benched 18 points this week. We've all been there. That bench glows brighter than Haaland's hat-trick, and all you can do is stare, Chipsters. And you know what's the best part? We pretend it was all part of the plan. Like, oh yeah, I told you meant to captain my defender. Sure you did, dude. This 90% luck, 10% we need to pretend we had a plan, and then 100% is emotionally damaged. Yeah, no, fantasy is a lot. So if you're sitting there regretting your triple captain on someone who blanked, take a deep breath, reset, because next week we are all geniuses again. Yeah, no, managers, this week the lesson was nobody is safe. The big boys took a beating. I mean, Chelsea, they were cruising 1-0. Then Trevor Chalobah gets a straight red in like a 53rd minute for denying a clear goal-scoring chance. Then suddenly it was collapse mode. Brighton pounced 3-1. Hey, Chelsea thought they'd controlled the game, but with 10 men, they were surely and definitely overrun. Then we have Liverpool, who had a perfect start that ended at Crystal Palace, where they conceded in stoppage time. Palace just kept like pressing on. And Manchester United, they shipped a 3-1 loss to Brentford. Let's not even talk about Bruno Fernandes, whose penalty got saved. It got messy. So this week, captains died, chips backfired, and then the biggest casualty of all, Salah, was the most transferred out in game week 6. So if you had any of those big names, hope your bench was ready with the boost, because the top dogs really got humbled hard. Alright, I'm not just the bearer of bad news. Let's shine a little light where it's due, ne? So this week's MVP crown goes to Alderete, Sutherland's defensive wall, and the unexpected FPL hero who made everyone ask, wait, who? If you had him in your team, you either a genius or you pressed the wrong button. But either way, it worked for y'all. A clean sheet, a bonus point, and a spot in the team of the week. Not bad, man, for a guy that most of us didn't even shortlist. I can swear on my life he's gonna be the most transferred player after game week 6. It's always the case. We run when it's late. Then the following week, sometimes they deliver. But hey, I'm not hating. Whatever works, managers. And that's a wrap on game week 6. A week of chaos, heartbreak, and accidental brilliance. We're keeping things dark on the eKasi League standings this week, but next episode, the curtains will surely lift. And you'll want to see who's climbing, who's falling, and who's hanging on by the GD. Don't forget to subscribe and drop your fantasy therapy confessions on the comments. We are all healing together. See you next time, Chipsters.